Wesley Chapel, Florida, brought to you by the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association. It's the Florida Athletics Network bringing you the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Good morning, folks. It's been an early one, but so far a great one here. Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres in what has been a great tournament thus far. Had quite the gnarly matchup in the first game with the Wellington Wolves and Bloomingdale Bulls. Wellington starting off early, but unfortunately falling in the second half to a Bloomingdale team that had quite the run, a 22-6 run to end that game. And fortunately for them, they took game one and showed off quite early in this day. Here we go, though. Starting off already, we got the Georgia Vipers squad and the SWFL squad going at it early. We had an early shot there from Conrad P. So Parastidis getting on the board early here, and the home team in the Georgia Vipers are on the board early here. From what it looks to be, we got 5, 12, and 22. So we got Jermaine Cheeks out there, Andrew Huey, Con Parastidis, number 11, Bryson Corey, and number 6, Remy Atkins. That's going to be your Georgia Vipers squad. On the other side, number 11 shooting, we got Cooper LaSalle. That one off the mark, and it goes back the other way. Aikens with the board, but not before we have a foul on the floor. Let's see who it's going to be on. So it's like a jump ball opportunity going the Georgia way, and the Vipers now with the early possession. Andrew Huey taking it up the floor, and a long bomb going towards the paint, and Jermaine Cheeks cannot gain a hold. However, it should remain with the Vipers. Goes off the leg of Zeke Settles. Settles out there alongside number 11, Cooper LaSalle, as we mentioned earlier. We got number 24, Tamarian Howard, out there on the floor as well. Number 13, Jose Marquez. So that's your hoop squad against this Viper squad. An early lead coming from Parastidis, who puts it up off the front iron. Offensive board for Corey. And how about it? Bryson Corey puts it up. And already a minute and a half into this contest, it's a 5-0 run for the Vipers to kick it off. Top of the corner it goes. He'll pass it out. And working back up, LaSalle settles. Getting it over to LaSalle, and LaSalle cuts the lead to 2. 14:30 remains, and we have a 5-3 advantage by the Vipers. A push, a kick, Aikens with a long bomb. Off the bank, and the bank is not open quite yet. Not 10 a.m. just yet, folks, but we are getting there. Actually, it's 10:18, so the bank should be open. Here we go, back the other way. Trying to go quite fast there was Jermaine Cheeks. So slowing it down just a little bit, resetting up top here. Andrew Huey being worked on here. It's Tamarian Howard guarding. A little switch. Aikens double teamed, gets it in the middle. The advantage, a 2-on-1. Contact in the paint. Nothing for it. And it ends up being 2 missed shots there for the Vipers. 13:42 remains in half number 1. Again, this tournament runs in 2 16-minute periods, about 5 minutes in between each game. Once again, Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres here, bringing you live coverage here on the Florida Athletics Network. Thank you so much for joining us, and apologies if we got a late start. Some technical difficulties pulling us aside for that first game, but again, quite the barn burner here, and we have a 3 coming, maybe a potential lead, and it's off the mark there for Jose Marquez. Fast transition coming, going up, and off the mark was Parastidis, but not before he had some contact on the floor. Despite the rough nature at the beginning of this contest, still no fouls yet to be given. And in the first game, we had 10 total fouls in that first half. So got off to quite the rocky start. And quite the save there coming for the hoop squad. Down the other way we go, going up and cannot finish. It looked like it was Tamarian Howard. Other way, Aikens going. Contact made, no call, but Aikens puts back his own basket, and it will be a 7-3 advantage for the Vipers. Going up and count it, Cooper LaSalle. So he'll put it in. It's a 7-5 advantage, and there will be an extra basket coming for LaSalle. Looks like Remy Aikens on the play. He'll be called for the foul. LaSalle will go to the line. And he has a chance to cut this lead to 1. 13:03 on the clock so far. Just 3 minutes into this contest, and it has been a back and forth affair. The free throw on the mark. And off the front iron. Back the other way we go with the Vipers. Leading the way is Andrew Huey once again with the red top. He'll throw it out to Akins. Some early aggression here on defense. An open three maybe from Parastitis. He doesn't get it. And it's a rebound from the newly checked in Tristan Pash. Looks like another foul on the floor as we had some contact. Akins went down and may have got a little bit of the hardwood. So he'll draw some contact, and it looks like Cameron Curlis will draw that foul to be the first on the Hoop Squad.
Well, just judging from the surface, you can see Southwest Florida Hoops has more size. I mean, they're a little taller, they're a little bigger. So right now, just physically, Georgia is kind of the underdog here. You know, these Southwest Florida Hoops guys are eating their breakfast every morning. I mean, they're looking pretty physical out there.
I mean, there's no question about it, Jonathan. I mean, I'm almost 26, and they're about as tall as I am out there, and they're not even fully grown yet.
Yeah.
So they have the height advantage, but right now the Georgia Vipers, with a little bit of aggression and also play style, they're playing very quick. The transition game, as you guys have seen on the live stream so far, they're not wasting any time, and I think they're using that to that advantage to where the Hoop Squad, they're not sure how to respond, but right now they respond with a three, and it comes off the money of Zeke Settles. So the first lead of the day for the Hoop Squad with 12:02 remaining in half number one, and some early defense once again to respond there from Jose Marquez. And I know, Jonathan, this tournament's been going on an awfully good amount of time. Again, the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association hosting. Florida Athletics Network is obviously streaming. But the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament has been going on for quite some time here.
I thought they had 7 already.
And it looks like, folks, 11:59 remains, and we have ourselves a timeout coming from the Hoop Squad. Again, a 7-8 advantage thus far. Had an early basket coming from Con Parastitis and then a couple responsive baskets from Cameron Curlis and Cooper LaSalle. But ultimately, that three coming from Jose Marquez is what puts this Hoop Squad up by 1 point so far, 4 minutes into this contest. Again, we are the Florida Athletics Network. I'm Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres at the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament here at Wesley Chapel outside of the Wiregrass Sports Ranch. And it looks like we had a scoring adjustment, so that previous three has now been marked as a 2, yes?
Yeah, that's what I was talking with over here at the scorer's table to our right. Just a little adjustment there. So 7-7 the score. And again, even just eyeballing it, I can tell you, without even needing to see birth certificates, I think Southwest Florida Hoops may be even a little bit older of a team. These guys just look like they may have a slightly edge, you know, even age-wise. A lot of young faces on the Georgia team.
Now, you know a little bit more about this tournament than I do. In terms of age range, is it just high school out there right now, or is it a combination of high school and middle school?
No, we'll see all ages. Yeah, middle school, high school. We'll be bringing them all to you live here on Florida Athletics Network here on Court 1. And so we'll actually be starting a new feed for every game, just for our fans out there. So if you see that we're not live, just hang tight. We're just resetting for the next game. But all of the games being played on Court 1 today will be live on Florida Athletics Network.
And once again, we thank you guys so much for joining us. That most recent foul, it is the second team foul going on the Hoop Squad, and it was picked up by Jose Marquez. It'll be Akins at the line. That is Remy Akins. He has a foul himself and a couple points along with a couple boards to go on his stat line.
Yeah, missed the first shot and the second.
And unfortunately, the second one is off the mark. Free throws not necessarily friendly to this age group. And sending it out of bounds, it looked to be number 22 in Zeke Settles. So not only responding with the missed free throws, but also responding with a defensive effort.
Well, not letting the height difference get in his way, because he slapped that ball almost out the building.
Ate some breakfast, slapped the ball away, and we are playing basketball once again, nearing the 11-minute mark, almost 4 minutes into this contest. A rebound, maybe. And now coming back the other way is Parastitis, and he might have stepped out. So, Jonathan, this is the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament, obviously, and I know You're good friends with the son of Conrad P. Foss, yes?
That's right. So Jeff is now the head of this organization, U.S. Amateur Basketball. Just an amazing guy, holding tournaments all over the country, and really, picking up where his dad left off. And he has left an incredible impression on the basketball sport, just like I said, all over the country, because it's tournaments like these where these kids get noticed. They get on the radar for scouts. They get on the radar for colleges. Even nowadays, even some NBA teams, and these guys, that's why they do it. That's why they travel, is to get this visibility, in front of other teams, other coaches, and hopefully some collegiate or professional programs, so that they can continue their basketball career.
I mean, it's amazing how the sport has evolved, right? We see kids in 6th grade already getting looked at for college, and they're 6 years away from even thinking about that.
Well, I think NIL has accelerated some of that without going down that rabbit hole, but, coaches are looking to start those relationships earlier and earlier because they realize that really in this NIL era that we're in, that's going to be the way to hold on to your players.
As that one sails out of bounds, Aikens had a steal, but Settles would not let him finish. A 9-7 advantage so far for the Vipers. And Jonathan, you mentioned, it's a good chance to not only get scouts to see, what kind of player you are, but I think what's important too is not being just friendly with the competition in your city, but outside of your city as well, seeing what the entire state of Florida has to offer.
Well, and the neat thing is that you're going to cross paths with guys that you're going to eventually see in college as well. So it gives you that exposure to some of these players that you're going to see in, maybe it's JUCO, maybe it's D2, maybe D1, but this is the future of the sport, and these guys are all going to continue to move up together. And so this exposes them to what the next level of basketball is going to be like.
And if this is what the next level looks like, it's going to be a great level of competition. Once again, it used to be the motion where we'd see 1 or 2 guys make it out of an entire state, and now, well, really, we could see this entire court right now make it to college at some point. The development level's insane, and obviously, too, the training aspect that's gone into recovery, and doing extra work, watching extra film. That's been so important, and starting at such a young age has been so crucial for kids like these.
Well, the other thing, too, is that this generation has more resources than ever when it comes to the game. They are able to watch film. They are able to work out. They are able to get specialized training, unlike generations before them that didn't have these opportunities.
As we believe there's another foul on the floor, and it will be, so that's going to go on the side of the Georgia Vipers. Remy Aiken's going to pick up his second, just the team's second and 4th overall foul thus far in this contest. Very physical at the beginning, folks, but not a lot of fouls being called. The refs just kind of letting them play out so far. Again, 9:21 remains here on the Florida Athletics Network here in half number 1 in a 9-7 contest, and another stoppage in play, which leads to a timeout.
All right, we'll take this timeout. Billy Adams, Jonathan Torres here at the Wiregrass Sports Ranch in Wesley Chapel, Florida. We'll be right back.
Boom. Boom. Contest here in Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament. Already trying to fire off some early shots in this possession was LaSalle of that hoop squad. It looks like we have another foul on the floor, and it should go towards, I believe, the hoop squad. I think they were going to call it on 21, if I'm not mistaken. Should have been Malachi Strauss, but we can confirm that soon. The Vipers on the other end looking to extend their lead off the front iron of Andrew Hewing. It's back the other way. Fast-paced transition this time from the Hoop squad. They are not wasting time. Strauss with the shot off the side, and it's back to the Vipers. Time winding down. Both teams scoreless here in about the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. An early hot start leads to a cold finish, and almost finishing at the basket was Bryson Corey.
Nice layup. Unfortunately, did not work out, but he needs to keep up with it. That was a great movement, inside the key.
And that's what's important to get your team going here, some early confidence and penetration in the basket, because at such a young age and such aggression that seems to come out of young kids like this, you can draw fouls pretty easy, it seems like, and getting another team into foul trouble pretty early on, that might be your best case scenario to start a game off.
Well, and I'm sure, like we've seen with the pros, the game has moved to the outsides. And so I think some of these coaches are starting to reteach these fundamentals about going to the inside, going, to the basket. And that was a great example right there. Did a great job, just didn't work out for him.
And I think that it's great to be able to reteach that, because a lot of these kids have such good athletic build and such good athletic ability. It's hard to waste just sticking them on the outside to be a stretch four, Sometimes you still got to use the paint and use the full court. Here's a corner shot coming from Pash, who picked up that last foul. Huey with the rebound, and here comes that transition offense from the Vipers. 10-7 is your score, 8:10 remaining in the first half as Huey working up top here with Tyler Brady. First time we've seen Brady today. Brady will reset with Bryson Corey with the most recent foul. Corey on the inside. Brady did not see that pass, and it's corralled in. Corbin Cantrell working with Brady, but not before the Vipers lose it. Back the other way is the Hoops, and nearly slamming it in was Pash. And outside Jay coming for the Hoops. Nowhere near the basket. I think it's going to stay in. We'll see. Somebody's got to get it right. And finally a foul coming as Luke Gadavas. He'll step to the line. It looks like Bryson Corey will pick up his foul. It's the third team foul now on the Vipers. Foul comes with 7:36 remaining here in half number one. And now, Jonathan, for you personally, with this tournament in general, is this the first one you've worked, or have you done multiple tournaments like this in the past?
No, so this is Florida Athletics Network's second year with this tournament. We had a great time last year. Where actually I'm starting to recognize some faces now in year two. Obviously, Southwest Florida Hoops was here last year. I don't remember if Georgia was here or not. So my apologies to them if they were. But last year was an amazing time that we were able to have here. And we're going to be bringing 3 more tournaments this year alone, and maybe more, with Florida Athletics Network and U.S. Amateur Basketball right here from Wiregrass Ranch Sports Complex.
And just as the talent level is evolving, broadcasting evolving as well. I mean, 5 years ago, you didn't have this. Not a lot of people were doing this for middle and high school. So I think it's pretty electric and honestly astounding, especially for parents and family members watching at home.
Yeah, fortunately, the technology has made it possible. It's gotten affordable to do so. It's also gotten more efficient to do so. We don't need 30, 40, 50 people to put on this production. And we're still able to produce a broadcast at a high quality level, and so it's made it more accessible for leagues like U.S. Amateur Basketball.
And it's great too, because you never know who's watching, and we say scouts, coming in person to see. You never know who's watching online with a resource like this. Is that long three from the corner by Kadavos. And they're going to call it a 2. It was actually a 2, so nonetheless, he's going to tie this ball game. And now the Vipers looking to respond. Haven't made a basket in over 3 minutes, just one free throw, and they will have to wait even longer. 6.5 minutes remain. An open J coming from Curlis. Off the mark, fighting for it, and unable to corral it in. It looked like it was Jerron Blanding. Blanding will watch that one roll out. 6:24 remains, and it is a 10-10 ball game, folks. A completely different change of direction that we saw from game one. It was an absolute score fest in game one, but Jonathan, feels like a defensive effort here in game two.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've got 2 teams that are evenly matched here. This is a very aggressive game. We've seen obviously by the fouls, okay, but again, they're not letting them take shots. Every shot, you got to earn it. Both of these teams are making the other team earn every single shot they take, and so you better make it. because every shot's going to count this game.
It's going to be one of those games where we talked about the reteaching of working in the paint. We're going to see a lot of paint action tonight because, well, they're not letting anything happen on the outside as we have another foul on the floor. And it looks like Jerron Blanding's going to pick up his first and a team fourth foul on the Hoop Squad.
Now, the refs are calling a tight game, but they should. You know, at this level, it's about fundamentals. It's about playing the game the right way, and that's how you learn.
Trying to learn a little bit more as a block comes from Blanding. And we might have had another foul, this time coming from the number 3 spot in Troy Compton. So he'll pick up his first, and we will have some free throw shots coming from Corbin Cantrell.
That ball is just not cooperating for Georgia.
You know, the Strawberry Festival was this past week, and, you know, the hoop to me is kind of looking like the oval-shaped hoop that you see in one of those carnival games because nothing is going in right now.
I mean, they had two great attempts right there, and neither of them worked out for them.
No, we're going to have to get a ladder and just let somebody climb up and just put it in at this point if we want to see a basket.
But nonetheless, it's still a close game. I mean, we're seeing Southwest Florida, you know, be a little more aggressive from the outside, whereas Georgia feels that their opportunities are on the inside.
That's right, and the nice thing about this is we see another defensive effort. Defense is not taught a lot anymore, especially at the upper level. It's about scoring, but a lot of defensive pressure being put on in this game as we have another foul going back the other way. So I believe the ref signaled 24 to go to the line. I'm not sure he signaled to get the foul. It might have been, I believe, on number 13 in Tyler Brady. If so, that'd be the third team foul, and it is the third team foul and the first for Brady and the Vipers. Got Tamarian Howard at the line now, making his first attempt. And number 2 is off the mark. 5:58 remains in a 3-point lead for this Hoop Squad. The Vipers with an early lead led for the first 4 minutes until most recently this Hoop Squad has found some momentum at the free throw line. And unfortunately for the Vipers, they cannot respond. I believe Tyler Brady might have stepped out on the line. So now, after a couple fast-paced minutes, everybody gets a chance to breathe and a chance to settle, and maybe we can run some plays.
Well, and that referee, she's been like a hawk on that line. I mean, that's at least the second that I can recall that she's called, you know, with a slightly step out. So they need to be real careful.
Same spot and different result, it looked like, for Catavos there. Tried to get another 3 from the corner and unfortunately off the mark. And you said she's watching it like a hawk, so maybe something we need to look out for is not fouls or contact, but just watching your feet on the line.
Right.
Because she's called a couple baskets that have been 3s and turned them into 2s as well.
I mean, the teams aren't giving any easy shots, and the refs aren't either, let's be honest.
Not at all. Somebody has to win this ball game, but at what cost? A beautiful move from Castelos. And just can't put it in. He did the same move in the first basket of the game. Unfortunately, can't finish as Tamarian Howard tries to finish, and instead his result might be free throws. Awaiting to see who the call was on, but Howard will definitely go to the line. And it looks like number 25 on the other side. It's Corbin Cantrell picking up his first and a team fourth.
I mean, such a great spin move over here by the Vipers, and again, just won't go in for it. Just, you know, and that's how it goes sometimes. You know, sometimes the basketball gods are just not, you know, not entirely with you. And you've got to keep pushing, Don't give up and don't lose that confidence. Keep taking those shots.
And if you thought Grandma and Grandpa were waiting at the door for you every time you arrive, well, I'd look no further than this Hoop Squad. Every time somebody goes to the paint for the Vipers, they've got 2 or 3 bodies just waiting on them. So nothing coming easy for them, but Tamarian Howard makes a hard shot even easier by getting 2 free throw shots. He's got 4 straight points now with 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. The Vipers have yet to score a basket in the last 6 minutes of play. Can they break that streak? An offensive board might do it. And the second time in a row, it's off the front iron. A long bomb here. Going for the Hoop Squad. A dish. Howard up and puts it in. It's Tamarian Howard with 6 unanswered points by himself.
I mean, the way they're hustling up and down this court, I mean, you'd think the clock was about to run out, but that's how it should be. These guys are playing hard. They want to make a statement. They want to establish themselves because it's from these tournaments that the word starts to get out, that you're the real deal. This is a team that you need to be careful of, and they're going to play each other in other tournaments. And if the word gets out about how aggressive they are, that starts to seep into the mental conditioning of the team.
And you got to think, too, these younger kids who are in middle school and high school, they got to go through the early, process of harder academics as they get older. And, the brains are still developing. They're still learning a lot in school. And you got to think, man, you watch this film and you're going from school to playing a team like the Georgia Vipers or playing a team like the NSWL Hoops. Like, that's a hard task to follow. Going from the mental capacity of school and education to then the physical capacity of playing some hard-fought basketball where you're getting hit practically every second, especially in this contest.
Well, and it's being able to balance a travel schedule. They probably play at their school as well, and between that and academics, if they're able to manage those things, again, it's all preparing you for the real life. Real life is tough, it's stressful, a lot going on. And you have to be able to prioritize what's important. For them, it's their academics. Basketball is obviously going to take them places and take them farther in their academic career, hopefully. But academics has to come first.
And that is correct, as we have 7 consecutive points from Tamarian Howard alone here, helping this hoop squad accumulate an 8-point advantage. Another steal and another transition. Step back jumper is just in and out. As Pash tries to put back. Rebound coming as Corbin Cantrell corralled the rebound, but not before, I believe it was an over-the-back foul.
Fighting for that rebound, you would not know that there is a height differential here. But, I mean, like I said before, Southwest Florida has maybe a few inches on them here and there. But this Georgia team is fighting for every possession.
Some strength and speed on Georgia's side, some height on the hoop side as we have another foul coming on the floor, this time on the hoop squad.
Yeah, I thought she was going to call him out here on the side.
So the 7th team foul now coming on the hoop squad, who have an 8-point advantage. So now everybody's in the bonus. We're going to have free throws for this final 4:22, and shooting the free throws now is Con Parastidis. Couple buckets now for Parastidis. Opened us up with a bucket himself, and the 1-and-1's off. But they'll get the rebound, and they'll get the reset here. Akins going, blocked by Pash. Gets his own board. And blocked once again. Back-to-back blocks, this time coming from Troy Compton. Back the other way, 4 minutes remain. Going up and going in and finishing. Cameron Curlis. Make it be known. He says, I'm here too, and it's a 20-10 advantage now for the Hoops.
That was just an incredibly exciting and dominating play. I mean, not only from the transition over here and making sure they got that rebound, but hustling across the court to go ahead and take advantage and get that too.
More hustle coming from Pash. He could not put it back. About 4 times he's had that opportunity. At some point, you got to think one's going to go in. Under 4 minutes remain. Pressure coming from the hoop squad, and we are going back, Jonathan, the other way once again. We are at an 8-minute scoreless drought now coming for this Georgia Vipers squad. The hoop squad, however, starting to heat up. Maybe it's the Florida summer calling, but a 23-10 advantage. A full court press now coming. They are not letting up despite having a 13-point lead. And now things will slow down with a foul.
Well, and that's very fortunate for the Georgia Vipers because this Southwest Florida team is catching fire. They are starting to find their rhythm. They're starting to figure out what's going to work for them against this Georgia team.
3:33 left in half number 1. 23-10 is the advantage, the largest lead. That last foul picked up by number 10 of Cameron Curlis on the hoop squad. It'll be his second. And the 8-team foul now for the Hoops, 15 total fouls. So now the refs starting to call a little more frequently and point out the contact we are receiving. First one was on, second one was off, back the other way. The shot from Compton off the mark. Pash with his 8th offensive board of the day, nearly leading to a second chance opportunity. Akins going up, Euro stepping, can't get it. And an offensive board now for the Vipers, and it's Jermaine Cheeks. Cheeks will work with Aristides. Cheeks can't hang on. Back the other way we go. The hoops going up, and going in was Curlis, but he'll go back to the line. Huey going to be called for that one. It's the 8th team foul now, matching the total for the Hoop Squad. 12-point advantage, and now a chance for Curlis to maybe extend that with 3:04 remaining. Going to have some substitutions coming in. It looks like Cooper LaSalle checking in alongside Zeke Settles. They'll check in with 3 minutes remaining. And another check-in, it looks like Jose Marquez coming back in as well. So they'll sub in. It looks like Catavos coming out. And the man who has been protecting and grabbing the boards all night long, or all morning long in this case, Tristan Pash, he'll sit down as well. Both attempts off the mark. Georgia trying to get it back. Instead, it lands in the hands of, once again, it's Tamarian Howard. Howard's got 10 and a 14-point advantage now for the Hoops. Aristides up, the high archer off the money. And finally, for the first time in 9 minutes, folks, Bryson Corey putting his team on the board.
Well, this is where the mental part of the game comes in for the Georgia Vipers. They have to stay focused. They can't let themselves get frustrated with the Southwest Florida team, or it's going to get away from them. They need to stay focused, continue to play that hard defense, and look for opportunities to score. And they could still come back. There's still another whole half to play.
Oh my goodness, folks! I tell you what, whoever's watching this now, mark Tamarian Howard on your draft board or your recruiting board. This kid has scored 12 of the last 14 points for this Hoop Squad, and now it is a 14-point advantage. I'll tell you what, if I'm going from 7th grade algebra, 8th grade geometry, I would not want to go from that to playing Tamarian Howard. Here we go, a chance to extend, going up and going in once again is Jose Marquez, folks. The lead is 16, and he'll have a chance to make it 17 after the most recent foul from Con Aristides. Another and one opportunity. It's just steal and bucket type of mantra coming from this Hoop Squad. Boy, 2 minutes remaining, folks. And I got to say, though, despite the 16-point lead, it's still impressive enough, though, that it's only 16 because of the Vipers not scoring an actual basket for the last 9 minutes. A little miscommunication there between Huey, and it looked like Jermaine Cheeks. A double team coming, a trap maybe. Here comes Howard, takes it back, puts it up, and puts it in again for another bucket, and a 19-point advantage now for the Hoops. Aikens back the other way, almost gets it in, and instead he'll go to the line, and we can finally slow things down. So it looks like Jose Marquez will pick it up. That's the 19th foul. Both teams with 9 apiece with 1:45 remaining here in half number 1, as Aikens will go to the line for the 3rd time today. Well, Jonathan, somebody had to get a run. At some point, we were going to see baskets go in, and I think the Hoop Squad decided to answer.
No, absolutely. Again, they're playing aggressive. They're staying focused. They are not only taking opportunities, but they're making opportunities. They are fighting for every single possession out there, and the score reflects it.
So we do have a new substitution in for this Hoop Squad with under 2 minutes remaining. We have number 15, Vitello DeBean. He has checked in for the Hoop Squad, maybe trying to get on the board himself and say, hey, I'm out here too, I'm on this team. Up top working, it's Zeke Settles, he just checked in. A steal, and here comes the focus that we were trying to see out of the Georgia Vipers squad. A little momentum would not hurt, especially going in to half number 2 is another stoppage in play, and I believe another foul is going to come our way. Looks like black 22 is the call, so it's Zeke Settles who just checked in. He'll grab his first, and it'll be the 10th team foul coming for the Hoop Squad. Back to the line once again. It's deja vu here for the Georgia Vipers. It's going to be Remy Aikens once again going back, and a chance to cut into that 17-point advantage. Common theme here, we see free throws not necessarily the high arc in this tournament so far. We had 5 made free throws in game number 1 of 13 attempts, as the second one is on the mark there for Aikens. It'll be Tamarian Howard bringing it up with under 90 seconds remaining. 16-point advantage now for the Hoops. Any insurance at this point is good real estate because, as we've seen with the Hoops, a run can be made. They scored 14 points to only 2 from the Vipers in 9 straight minutes. And unable to get that was Marquez. It's back the other way. Once again, a full court pressure coming, a trap maybe. Trying to fight for it was Cheeks, and instead, it's back the other way. The Hoops can't corral it. It looks like it's LaSalle finally finding Marquez. The corner, Dabine up and off the bank. Under a minute remaining now. Once again, the transition offense coming. Akins, the right-hander, finally off the glass. And Akins is on the board despite missing a couple free throws earlier.
Hey, sometimes all it takes is a nice little lob, and that one did the job right there.
A job to do, indeed, is what they need now to finish. Finding a basket, and finding a basket. It was Cooper LaSalle. Under 30 seconds remain, folks. LaSalle extending the lead back to 16 once again. An ill-advised pass lands in the hands of Marquez. He's coming back the other way. The final 13 seconds will likely end up, it looks like, in the hands of the Georgia.
Ooh.
No, not the Vipers. LaSalle.
What a steal.
Cooper LaSalle with the heads-up move. And the final second winds and dines, and it will be the first half for the SWFL Hoops. How about it, folks? Southwest Florida coming to show against the Georgia Vipers, a 36-18 advantage, the second largest lead in this contest, Jonathan. And boy, after a back-and-forth affair, it was just 9 minutes of Hoops basketball.
No, you're absolutely right. And again, what we're starting to see is that size and physical differential. It's taking, Georgia almost, having to double team every guy on the Hoops team, for them to be able to stop them. It's been an aggressive game, very heavily defensive, but Georgia is seemingly having to put in a lot more effort to try to slow down these Hoops.
And I think the impressive thing we saw, too, is in the early parts of this game, we saw Georgia going out fast, aggressive, and they were not wasting time. If you think a shot clock exists, well, it didn't exist for Georgia. As soon as they crossed half court, whoever was open is who got the ball to shoot. And that's the interesting thing. I think the Hoops squad seemed to take notice of that because they're penetrating when it comes to half court. We've seen that time and time again with double teams, so I kind of wonder if cutting off these outlets early in these possessions, that might be the big difference here for the Hoops, and maybe that's why we saw a lot of turnovers, especially late in that first half.
Well, again, if we're going to say who's the more aggressive team, Southwest Florida definitely has the edge, and you can tell not only by the scoreboard, but you can see it in the steals. You can see it in what I was saying earlier, creating those opportunities, right? Because every steal could lead to a score. And so it's about not only finding those opportunities to take those shots, but also creating the opportunities that come by playing aggressively on defense.
And a defensive effort we did have. The first fun fact, folks, if you have been watching the entire time, the first 8 minutes we saw 2 total fouls, and then the following 8 minutes after that, because again, 2 16-minute periods, we saw 11 different players grab 1 foul or more. So we saw what seemed to be 17 total fouls after the first 8 minutes. So what seemed to happen is the aggression style picked up from both squads, but also we thought the rest were going to let them play, and it seemed like they did up to a point. And I got to say, a huge shout-out to Tamarian Howard, who has 0 fouls, over 14 points now in this contest. Tamarian Howard absolutely took over in that second half of the first half, had 7 consecutive points alone to extend their lead to 8, and from then on, folks, it just seemed like this Hoop squad was in it to win it. And fortunately for them right now, some big insurance. It seems to be important right now because if they can make a run, then who's to say the Georgia Vipers can't make that same run?
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying, at this age, and it's probably easier for you to remember than for me, but at this age, you can get caught up in the frustration of being down, by almost half. You know what I mean? And so you have to mentally focus on what works for you. You got to be consistent on both sides of the ball. You got to find those opportunities, create those opportunities, because you can still come back. There's a whole nother half of basketball left. But if mentally you're already letting them defeat you, that's it. The game's over.
No, not at all, because I feel like what happens too, especially kids at this age, you talk about mentally giving up. One thing that is preached, I think, in basketball still to this day is fundamentals.
Right.
And a lot of times these kids will put their heads down, and I think the fundamentals go out the window. And if you're not playing off of your fundamentals, which seem to be the base of every basketball player, I think that's when things start to slip. You start throwing lobby passes. You don't have a good shot selection. You're not looking down court or getting back on defense. And a time like this is a good time for anybody watching the Georgia Vipers. It's a time for them to maybe get away from that narrative and prove, hey, we're from Georgia, but we can compete with these Florida squads, and we can do just as well as they did with an 18-point lead.
Well, and again, in the age that we live in, the digital age and with social media, the one thing that I've seen, the greats say, Kobe, MJ, all these legends, is that they know that every missed shot gets them closer to the one they're going to make. And that's what they need to focus on, creating those opportunities, taking those opportunities. Georgia just has to stop giving the ball away, and it's hard because this hoops team, man, they're very aggressive and they're very good at taking that ball away.
They are very good at taking the ball away, and a lot of that could be attested to the height advantage, but if you were to go back and rewatch this game, not a lot of these passes have to do with how lengthy you can get. It's really just looking down the floor and getting back on defense. That's one thing we can attest to this hoop squad. If they're not scoring the ball, they're getting back on defense, they're applying pressure, and it seems like it's making this Georgia Viper team just a little bit uneasy going up court now. As we saw in the first 8 minutes, they got up court with ease. They got to the paint relatively every possession, it seemed like. But since then, we've only seen them get to the paint a couple times. And as Jonathan mentioned, it's a lot of shots that are having to be earned instead of given. And it seems like the response as of now just hasn't gone their way.
Yeah.
So now, folks, you thought the first half was entertaining. We have a whole second half of play here. Again, 16 minutes. There is plenty of time to erase an 18-point deficit. As you see there, that shot off early there coming from LaSalle. Aikens back the other way. He was very active in that first half, just needing a couple to fall. Huey going to fight for it up top. Again, that double-team pressure coming. As it looks like we saw a newly checked-in player. It's going to be Zarik Harris on that Viper squad. The left floater, just as we started this contest, we start the second half, and it comes from Comparistidis. He kicks off the second half of action. So almost a minute now into this half. LaSalle. No work up top with Curlis. LaSalle going to take his time, not as fast-paced as we saw this first half, but things can obviously shift for the better. 36-20, a deep three with no other option. And folks, what time is it? I think it's that time. The bank is open. Almost 11 a.m. Eastern time, and the bank has opened. Cameron Curlis with that shot. Back the other way is Huey. Harris gets his first board. Back to Pastidis. And Pastidis has back-to-back baskets for the Vipers. He's got 5 early here in this second half, and he's trying to spark a run now for this Georgia Viper squad. On the other end we go. Huey, after getting a board from his teammate, going back the other way, and an easy block there for LaSalle. They're going to go back. Here we go. Settles, just can't finish. It was a good play by Settles, but just couldn't get it in. Might have another opportunity. Here we go with 3-on-2. LaSalle goes up, finishes, and he will have a chance to make it a 3-point play. So that's going to be a foul on Remy Aikens, his third of the game, and it'll be the first team foul of the half now for the Georgia Vipers. So Jonathan, a little bit of a change so far. The Vipers still going with the fast-paced offense. However, I've started to see a little bit of outside shot selection instead of trying to penetrate inside the paint. And for the Hoop Squad, they're not pushing and not pressing as hard. It seems like they're laying back just a little bit.
Well, and if you've got a bit of a physical differential, again, as we've been talking about with this hoops team, what's the best way to defeat a big guy? You got to spread them out. Because if you get them all in the key, then things are just not going to work out for you. It's just going to create chaos. You need to spread them out where they're going to be more vulnerable, and you're going to be able to, have more room to take those opportunities to take shots.
Trying to save it and keep it in. Again, that ref watching that line like a hawk with 13:49, and it looks like this possession should stay with the Hoop Squad. That last basket, by the way, folks, I believe we saw Tyler Brady grab a three-point shot on the other end. So now 3 for 3 to start this half is Georgia, and that includes 2 threes to kick off their early shooting hot streak. So now the Vipers with another stop. It's a 15-point possession, slowing it down a little bit here with Pastides. He'll take it up. Again, pressure being applied just by half court. Akins with the 3. Boy, I thought that was going in for a second. I was going to say the Vipers now, all of a sudden, have found the hoop. Here we go with Marquez. He'll work up top. LaSalle drives over 3 defenders. Kicking it out to the top. And a travel violation going to be called on Cameron Curlis with what looked to be a great possession, some good outlets. And instead with 13-14 remaining, it'll go back to the Vipers.
This is where the Vipers need to capitalize. They need to take advantage of this.
Oh, man.
Jinxed them. I had to have jinxed them, I guess.
Boy, you could call it a double jinx. I think LaSalle thought that was going to fall right in. And instead, once again, folks, the name of the game, and his name is Tamarian Howard. He's got 16 points in this contest, and a 17-point lead now has been accumulated for the Hoop Squad, folks. Again, 43-26, 13:03 remains in this game. Still anybody's game.
Yeah.
Nobody's pulling away just yet. We've seen the Vipers. They can shoot and they can make shots. But, again, fundamentals could be slipping away just a bit. We saw a little bit of an ill-advised pass there just a moment ago coming from Tyler Brady. So now, Jonathan, this is where you have a chance to slow down. And I think for the Vipers, regroup, make sure you're not losing that mental focus as you talked about. And if they can get a stop, which they have, they just need a basket here. I think now it's about momentum.
And I don't want the fans to misunderstand what we've been saying in terms of some of the differentials here. I think this Georgia Vipers team could absolutely, win this game. They have the agility, they have the speed, they have the aggressiveness. It just hasn't been working out for them offensively. And so again, they need to double down and create more opportunities for them to take shots.
One thing I'm taking note of as well, I got to credit the movement of this Hoop squad. They're showing a lot of athleticism. Not only are they tall, but they're a little lanky and getting to these passes really quick. We've seen some slow passes coming from the Viper squad, and that quickness coming from Tamarian Howard, allegedly. The quickness coming to Tamarian Howard, getting it in the basket, but that quickness is what they're taking advantage of right now. And again, Howard, it's a one-man show. Tamarian Howard just off the iron. Boy, he bounced it off the glass really hard. Marquez can't get it. Back the other way we go. It's Akins. It's a fast pace of play, and they're letting them play. That is until now.
I mean, on that last possession, the Hoops team had way too many opportunities. They were way too open. Georgia cannot be playing like that, especially inside the key, and expect to come back in this game.
Not at all, folks. And again, we have a stoppage in play. Had a foul on the floor, and it did come from number 21 in Malachi Strauss. So, as I mentioned in the little halftime reel that we did, there were 2 fouls in the first 8 minutes of play in the first half, and now we have just reached our second foul. So the refs, once again in this first half, the second half, in the first half of the second half, just letting them play a little bit here. It's a 19-point advantage. Here comes Strauss, who got that foul, trying to make up for it. The finger roll finish for Strauss is good, making it look easy, and it's a 21-point advantage, the largest for the Hoop squad. Akins got a shot off, and he might have gotten a late foul behind the line. I believe he did, folks. We might see 3 free throws coming from it looks to be Remy Akins. A late foul after Strauss came in, second consecutive, and second team foul now coming for the Hoops. We've seen Akins at the line a couple times with a different result. 2 for 4 so far, now 3 for 5, and he should have 2 more attempts.
Well, the other thing that really affected the Vipers in the first half was the amount of fouls that they committed. They were very foul heavy in the first half. If they can kind of keep it clean here, or even kind of flip the script like they are now and get some opportunities at some free throws, they, again, could easily make a comeback. I think this Georgia team can do it.
They got to watch for Cooper LaSalle and the cherry-picking notion all the way down the floor. And thankfully a good closeout there coming from Brady. Just off the mark was Bryson Corey. That was a nice play.
Yeah. Great job on the rebound. Unfortunately, again, didn't work out for them in the hoop.
But it sure did work out there. Jerron Blanding checking in, stamps his name of approval. Back to 21 with 10:40 remaining here in the contest. Aikens up, and I think Blanding got a piece of it. Once again, transition. LaSalle, that time he's going to finish, and the lead is now 23. Aikens will grab it, but not before the Georgia Vipers take a breather, and they will take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout ourselves, and we're going to come back after this. Back in action, folks, once again here on the Florida Athletics Network. Shout out to the Florida Sports Coast. Let's play. If you want to find out more information, visit www.flsportscoast.com. We are back live here at the Wiregrass Sports Ranch out in Wesley Chapel. Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres and Nick Merritt behind the camera. Some early, really star-studded action, I must say, from these kids and these high school and middle school kids. 28-51 is your score, but cannot take anything away from this Georgia Vipers squad. They are playing hard, playing physical, and really playing fast. Just have not gotten a lot of opportunities to finish until then. It looks like Corbin Cantrell getting on the board, so maybe a good call on the timeout coming from the Vipers. Going up and trying to go in is Settles, and another stop coming for the Vipers. Aikens working with Huey. The jump stop instead turns into a travel, and I think Huey might have misstepped. So the clock will run. 9:30 remains here. It was an early advantage, 36-18 coming for the Hoop squad, and now the Vipers trying to respond. A 3-on-2 back down the other way. Aikens doing it all himself. And folks, once again, it's like we're going to a family reunion. Aikens going to be back at the free throw line for about the 4th or 5th time today.
Well, he drew the foul there, smartly so, because again, these are the easy points. These are the ones they need to rack up. This is going to help that, give them that filler they need, to shorten this lead. They just need to capitalize on it and create some momentum.
And I think, too, they just need to know that it can happen. It's almost, you tell a young kid they can do something, and sometimes, they don't really believe you, but when they start to see it come into fruition and it's happening in front of their eyes, they start to get that sense of belief. And I think for here, when you see Georgia making a couple stops and at least getting to the line, they know a run is capable. A run is possible. Yeah. They just have to execute. But it looks like we have a newly checked-in player, Jordan Chimilis. So Chimilis getting on the board here. He's got his first three of the afternoon now here. 54-31. Ooh. Applying pressure on both ends.
They've been doing that all game. Yep.
They're doing it again.
Yep.
So on one end, Chimilis gets the bucket. On the other end, the steal, and puts it back to Settles, folks. It's a 25-point advantage for the Hoops squad.
Well, and Hoops has been stealing like that all game long. They just leave the ball way too vulnerable. Georgia leaves the ball too vulnerable in their possessions, and Hoops has been just capitalizing on that all game long.
And if you go back and happen to rewatch this and want to find, the discrepancies in that play, a lot of what I'm seeing is the Hoop squad is at the right place at the right time, and these passes from Georgia just seem to be a little slower, a little bit sluggish, to the point where they're just kind of giving it to them. And I think one thing you need to see is just a little bit of cleanup on the passes, as that one just slammed off the board, and we're back the other way with the Vipers going up.
There you
and
go.
Finally getting a roll was Bryson Corey. 7.5 remains. They are letting the clock run. 4 total fouls here in this half, so a little bit less physical as we saw in half number 1. And that could all change. We're back the other way here. Cantrell working, settles, stealing, and dunking and slamming. What a finish from Jerron Blanding. Blanding with the landing at the rim. It's a 25-point advantage. Aikens off the mark once again. Chimilis, he'll come back. Could he get his second bucket? Instead, settles. Trying to settle in the paint, going up, going in. Not his own miss. Goes up again, and Jerron Blanding with the third offensive rebound on that possession. A very commandable lead here coming for the Vipers as they try to cut into the deficit of the hoops. 6.5 remain. Aikens with that basket. Blanding coming back, working with Settles. He'll work up top, guarded by Cantrell. Pash, he wants a three. A different look for Pash. He's been under the rim the entire day until now. Aikens guarded by Chimilis. Aikens will put it up. The high archer off the mark. Grabs his own miss, puts it up, and puts it in off the glass. So Aikens, as if he's the entire Georgia Vipers squad, missing and making in that offensive board. It's a 60-37 advantage as the clock continues to run with under 6 minutes remaining.
Well, these minutes are going to count. I mean, this is going to be the make or break moment for Georgia. If they don't start to create the opportunities they need to put some more points on the board, the game's just going to get away from them at this point.
And they are starting to watch it fall just away. Cantrell picking up that foul, just the second foul. It's the one thing we can really attribute to being better in this half for the Vipers. They are not fouling early. They're trying to play off just a little bit. In that case, it's Pashu. Has quite the height advantage. He's got a couple baskets and a couple boards today. Had 8 offensive rebounds in half number 1, and he'll make it a 3-point play with a 26-point advantage. And Jonathan, you did mention that, every minute matters. It's funny, race car drivers are a good example of this. You're racing the Daytona 500 and you wreck early, but you come back 50 laps down. That data of being on the track still matters, and the minutes
absolutely.
for these players in the development still matters, no matter how much you're up or how much you're down. So these last 5 minutes are going to be crucial for both teams, especially early in their playing careers. A 3 just off the mark there for Catavos. Somehow keeping it in play. I think that might have been Pash. Working up top. The Hoop Squad, one thing to note, they are not slowing down. They just want to score. All respect to them. They want insurance. Another 3 is on the mark, and the second time, that time, is the charm for Catavos. Approaching 4 minutes remaining now. 27 points is the advantage. The Vipers just trying to get past half court at this point. Cantrell will work up top, the dish. And it looks like Peristitis is off the mark. Down the lane, going up and going in for the second time in a row is Catavos. Huey, double teamed. Cantrell, the open jumper, just off the iron. The rebound by Cheeks, the floater. Too strong, it's Chimilis. Yep. Back the other way we go, going up and a block there by Cantrell, and it might have been, I believe, just out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get the foul on that one because he hit him pretty hard on the head.
Looked like it was going to be a late foul as Vitello DeBean drove, but it will stay. So now, clock continues to run. 3.5 minutes remain in this 68-39 contest. It'll be DeBean up top. He's gotten a lot of playing time here in the second half. And so has Luke Catavos. He's got 7 consecutive points, and now the largest lead of the game is 31. Huey pressured, can't get any room. And we might have gotten a foul that time. And we do. It'll be on Marquez, his third, and just the team fourth. Not a lot of fouls now, Jonathan, as the clock continues to run.
Well, we were certainly more foul heavy in the first half. So they again, it's about getting into that rhythm, getting back into the fundamentals, not playing sloppy. But it cost Georgia dearly in the first half.
Fouls costing them heavy in the first half, and honestly, it seems like turnovers, as we see, they're costing them dearly in the second half. But Aikens will get it back. He'll have an open shot, the high archer. Rolls off the rim. It'll be Martin with the board. and he cannot put it back with 2:16 remaining. Again, this hoop squad not slowing down. The jumper off the back iron. It's the offensive board. And once again, folks, in the first half, you saw Tamarian Howard get hot, and now it's going to be Luke Catavos getting hot in the second half as we have 1:56 remaining in a 34-point contest. And actually,
that's going to be game.
They're going to call game.
Yeah. And again, a hard-fought game. I mean, again, Georgia really came out very aggressive. You know, a lot of very defensive in the first half, remember. It really could have been anybody's game. But the fouls, I think, did make a major difference. Also, this hoops team on the steals, man, they were just stealing left and right. You know, really created opportunities for themselves. And, again, they were aggressive both on the inside and from the outside. And they were creating those opportunities for them to put points on the board, where I think Georgia was looking for those opportunities.
And you're absolutely right. And we did see, I wanted to note this too. I didn't realize the game would end 2 minutes before the time, but I think that was good for everybody. I think one thing I took note of for that Georgia squad is we did see opportunities come. You know, they were able to work outside a little bit more, get some three-point shots going, especially at the beginning of the second half. But unfortunately, I think it's the capitalization that wasn't there. They could not finish as much as they maybe wanted to. And you mentioned a factor early on that could have came into play, and it was age.
Yeah.
You know, the hoop squad seemed older, just a little bit overall, and I kind of think that's what we were seeing. It's that experience that maybe that Georgia team maybe lacks. You know, the finishing and getting to the rim a little bit more consistently. And this is what we saw from the hoop squad, and also the defensive, I think, not even just pressure, but the poise and the composure. You know, they weren't slacking. They weren't reaching for the ball when they didn't need to. They were staying in position and letting the passes come to them. And that's ultimately how we saw so many transition baskets
where you
coming
saw
for the hoops.
Southwest Florida hoops fight for every possession, fight for every ball. They didn't let an opportunity go to waste, and it showed in the final score.
And I tell you what, if you're carrying a basketball, I would not want to be around the Southwest Florida squad. They take the game number 2 victory, 73-39. Again, I'm Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with some women's action here in game number 3.
Yeah, we'll end this feed. Again, for those watching at home, we're going to end this feed. We're going to start a new feed for the next game. We got our first girls game, and I think we have our first middle school game. So it's going to be exciting. These young ladies are out here getting warmed up. So we're going to go ahead and reset the broadcast. We'll be back here on the Florida Athletics Network in just a couple minutes.